Hello, friends. It's the Cinemondo podcast.
It is.
We're going to talk about Avatar.
Yep. And it's called
I
Fire
made
and
myself
Ash.
blue.
I like your aquatic background.
Yes.
I have a blue shirt on. That's about as far as I could go. I have a little bit of blue.
My blue skin with the
luminous. You guys have to change the tone of the whole color. You know, it's called Fire and Ash. You need
that's
amber or red.
That's true. We can do that. I know, Ramesh, you're in the very neutral tone, so it'll work best on you. You're beige on beige on beige.
Yes.
Perfect for colorizing.
There we go. There's kind of, I guess, fiery colors for me. Okay. But yeah, there are themes to these films. The first one was a forest, you know, the trees in the forest and all that kind of stuff. The second one was the ocean, and I actually really like the Avatar films. Sometimes the critics don't love them as much, you know, as the people do. They're the kind of movies where lots of people go see them, but the critics are always like, the story is derivative and it's kind of preachy and kind of not as cool as it should be, you know?
Well, I think it feels like a little too show-off techie and not like emotional story-ish. You know, I think there's a little bit of that. I think it happens in that. I mean, I'm not, again, I've talked about this before, and as people who have been listening and paying attention to the other animated film we just did,
right?
that I'm not a big animation person. I don't it's really hard sell for me. So Avatar, I love the first Avatar. Not so much the second one. It was okay. Didn't love it. But so I'm interested in seeing if this one's different. Like, will it grab me? Because I love James Cameron. I think he's done some amazing things. And I love his whole like science-based thinking and what he's done with underwater exploration, unlike some other underwater explorers. But I think he's an incredibly intelligent man. And we saw him in an interview talking about Terminator at this event a few years ago. And he was very I wouldn't say unpleasant, but he's kind of like everyone's kind of below him, and it's probably true intellectually. So I think he brings a lot of intellectual, you know, ideating to these movies that I think maybe don't translate to good storytelling all the time. But he's trying to make it very user friendly by giving these beautiful images. So we'll see if he pulls it off on this one.
Yeah, you're right there with that, because he is very concerned about the environment and all that. And
I love that messaging.
And I think his movie, The Abyss, is that, and Terminator stuff, not so much, but his Aliens, such a classic movie. He really knows how to tell a story.
Yeah, he's great.
With a movie camera.
Fantastic director.
And he's invented things. There were special, when Aliens came out, there was a special effects in that I had never seen before. And I was like, how the hell this is before CGI, you know?
He's always
you can't really ask that question anymore. How did they do that? Because it's like, computer. Yeah. But back in those days, when that dropship crashed and tumbled over them and they were ducking as this thing was coming up behind them, I was like, how the hell did they do that?
How did they do it?
Because I didn't see any matte lines, and it looked like they were right there on the stage with that thing. And it turns out it was giant rear screen projection, which is similar to what they do with the volume now with the Star Wars things and the stuff that they shoot on stage with a huge high resolution screen behind them.
But even the first Avatar, he invented a whole way of like making it happen. So it wasn't just that CGI thing. You know,
he really pushed the idea of motion capture and basically it kind of defeated the uncanny valley a bit. You know, the characters in there don't have that uncanny valley-ness to them. They're pushed as far as their biology, as their eyes are bigger, their bodies are elongated, and they're not totally humanoid.
That's right.
But they still read as being alive, which I think is the line that you juggle with when you do CGI.
Here's his third one. Every time he's kind of pushed it further. What's he going to do for this?
A different theme. Second one was water. Apparently this one is fire.
Fire not. Have we lost the battle to save the planet? Is it whatever planet it is? Are we destroying it and it's in fire and ash? I hope not. It's going to be sad.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
It's kind of interesting that I think Cameron has mentioned that they haven't used any AI to generate the visuals as such,
right.
except for
does it all the hard way.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, that'll be cool. All right,
that's good. I mean, that's a line he won't cross, and that's an interesting line because I mean, people put down CGI. I get on a soapbox for this stuff, but there are genuine artists who do CGI. The art people that say, "Oh, the old days are better," and it's like, you know what? There's people working really hard and designing beautiful things and coming up with great concepts and ideas.
Yeah.
And they work all night putting these visions on the screen, and I appreciate it and I respect it.
That's right. So let's see what he did. Let's see it.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Yes.
I have not seen this. I'm curious.
No, I haven't either. It just came out.
Wonder if they're still using Trajan as their logo.
Papyrus.
Papyrus? I thought it was Trajan.
No, it was Papyrus. Did you not see the great Ryan Gosling?
I did, and I thought it was Trajan. Who uses Trajan? Anyway, we'll go.
Papyrus is the worst offender, but we'll talk about that. Okay,
it's not Comic Sans. All right, we'll nerd out on fonts later.
Yes, everyone wants to hear about fonts now. Okay,
here we go.
The strength of the ancestors is here.
whoa.
Live like this, baby. In hate.
If there is something you can do, then you must do it.
Whoa.
The children. No, Spider. And we will find another way. Your goddess has no dominion here.
These movies make me so sad because I see environmental stuff just breaks my heart. It's so hard to watch. I start feeling sick looking at that because you see
animals
damage. You're trying to fight against, like, why do people want to destroy things? I don't understand. So I know what side he's on. I know what we're fighting for, and it makes me so sad. This movie looked pretty amazing. I don't see animation. Like, I'm looking at it, I didn't think about the animation. So gorgeous though. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally going to see this on an IMAX screen if I can. It looks like it's just full of really cool design work. I think, I'm not sure, I probably should have looked this up before, but I think Wayne Barlow did some of the creature design in this. He had worked with on Hellboy films and stuff, and I have a bunch of his books, and he's one of my favorite artists of all time. Just an amazing creature designer, like unbelievably great creature design. And I think some of these things that I saw in here really looked like his work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Like, definitely there weren't a lot of dialogues to talk about what exactly is happening or going to happen in the movie, but I do see a few themes. Like, there is grief and family strife. There is definitely a spiritual division. I guess there are two different tribes now. Especially when one of the Na'vi says that, the other goddess. I think it's the Pandora's goddess was called Eva or somebody.
Yeah.
She doesn't hold any power in their realm.
Right.
Yeah. So,
well, it looked like there was like the lush green, and then there was the ashy destroyed section. So and you see again like the huge machines coming in. There was always that theme of like the balance of nature and working with nature. And it looks like we start bringing in machines, it upsets the whole thing. So I'm assuming the machine guys are the bad guys because that doesn't look good.
Even the Navi seem to be bad. It's like it's more like an ideology versus survival as well. You have Navi fighting the humans, and then there's Navi fighting the Navi as well. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, because I think people are getting corrupted. It's like there's always a corruption aspect to, with greed and just fear, helplessness.
Yeah.
So people will sometimes make the wrong decisions just out of desperation, and so you might be seeing that too, and power and
just that horrible
so depressing.
That missionary idea. I wonder if they're going to pull. I wonder if that's the idea that's happening here with the spiritual stuff you're talking about, Ramesh. Like, they haven't touched on that in a lot of movies, but the idea. I mean, to me, there's exploiters who go in with the machines and they dig things up and they tear up the environment and they pollute. And they get people, they remove the people because they need to get the resources out of their land. But they don't often, because it's kind of controversial, I guess, is I think a thing to me that I just hate to see is when missionaries go in and bring religion, bring their own religion into a place that does not need a new religion. And they kind of corrupt. I feel like in some ways the missionaries corrupt cultures. They erase a culture, or they dilute the culture. They disperse the culture, and we saw that happen in history. The Spanish coming into the Americas and whatnot, and you still see it. I mean, it's hard to put it down because people who have been converted are converted and therefore say, no, it was a good thing that they came.
Yes.
Because we found the true religion. They brought us the true religion.
The price they pay to get the help. Like you got to have, like they may have helped them in some way, but then that's their payment. They have to be, religiously aligned, we'll say.
Yeah. And it can be sad to see that when you look at it historically, when you look at it as something that happened hundreds of years ago.
But thank you, James Cameron, for going ahead and bringing these themes to us, because someone's got to talk about it in a smart way. And he is a smart guy, and he's making it like in an entertaining, accessible way. Instead of just someone up on a stage like a TED Talk, he's like, let me show you what this looks like. Let me show you a fantasy of what's happening to the planet and how we're destroying things and how we can't do that. We need to find more balance. I think that's admirable, and he's always been that way. So I've always liked him for that.
And the best science fiction makes you talk and think about it for the rest of your life. Seriously, when I read Dune when I was in high school, and I read it again and again, I've never stopped thinking about that book. Whenever things happen in history, in reality, I'm like, God, this is like Dune or some other science fiction book. And the best science fiction pushes your mind and makes you think about reality in a different way, and it educates us, as the smart writers do, make us think.
That's right. What do you think, Ramesh? Last words.
So I'm definitely going to watch this movie on IMAX.
Big screen IMAX, here we come. Bring it on. That's right. It'll be very exciting. So it comes out in December. So the studio has a lot of confidence in this movie because that's the holiday release schedule, which means this is their power hitter. So here's the first poster, kind of a teaser poster. This is definitely the fiery one.
Yes.
He looks a little ashy, but it's mostly like fire, little embers flying around, and close up of that beautiful rendering there. And I love how they make the eyes really big, because I think that does help with you're talking about the uncanny valley, because you get a really good look at the eyes, and they spend a lot of time making those look as real as possible. You can almost see the pupils moving inside of them too.
Oh, they
like
do move the pupils. Yeah.
Really amazing. So really good job on that. So, well, wait, the next poster, they have plenty of time to send more trailers, more posters. They're coming. So we'll be reviewing them as they show up. But this is first peek. All right.
I'll be there, and I'm going to be leaning into the screen and feeling those flying scenes where you're zooming through the Roger Dean landscapes, like album covers, like flying through the album cover of Close to the Edge or something.
It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, it's so prog
I think
rock.
they should start having like 3D movie posters, if that becomes a norm. That'll be interesting. Like
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Moving
hard to do.
3D posters.
That's right. That's right. Motion poster. All right. So tell us what you guys think. Which is your favorite Avatar movie? You're going to see this one in IMAX. I think we all are. Okay.
Yes, we are.
Go to the theaters. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.